So I brought Echo Station inside because the weatherman says this week's going to get down to negative 35 degrees. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, how am I going to make this thing go negative 35 Fahrenheit? I'm sorry for any international person. I would gladly switch to the metric system, but our government won't do it, so everything's in Fahrenheit. But the first rule is, I already checked, any lubrication on any fan will not operate that cold. So any moving part has to go. The CPU fan's gone, has to go. There's a fan right there that has to go. I'm going to take the power supply out and be gentle. I've been zapped by them once before. And see if there's a fan on this end. Take it out. Then there's all the holes in the back. I'm going to plug those up. And the front, it's not easy to get the front case off, and I don't have it off yet. The front has similar. These are all wide open holes right here. And those are going to get plugged up. And I'm also thinking I might even find a way to put an insulating blanket around the outside. How cool would that be to get a computer to operate at negative 35 degrees Fahrenheit? We're going for it, guys. We're going to do this. All right, here's what we've done. The CPU fan is gone. I briefly thought about even removing the heatsink and just running the core exposed, get the thermal paste off of it. But I think what I'm going for is keeping a radiant temperature inside of this case. I think having this at the heatsink might help disperse the heat around the case a little bit more. That's my theory. I was correct in a theory that there is, or was, where is it at now? I can't even tell. There was a fan inside of that power supply. It's no longer in there. The case came with two fans. One in the front, both in the front. I heavily insulated the front end of this thing. I even used some discarded magic cards to add a layer of cardboard, but you really can't see because I used packing tape, but there's a lot of layers here. This is pretty good thermal seal. And just on the front I'm sealing. I'm going to leave the back wide open just in case heat does need to escape. So tonight it's not supposed to get too cold. I'm going to go set this thing back up as it is now and see how it does. So I must have hit the button stop recording. We have this modded computer. Now you may notice the keyboard is hooked up into it this time, even though it hasn't been powered on yet, because of the total lack of fans in this computer. I took every moving part out of this. It's 100% electrical. It comes up with an error when you boot it up. Here, you want to be part of the action? We got juice. So we sit there for a second, wait for Dell to tell us that it says we have numbers. So all we have to do is hit F1. Come on. That's just the numlock key. When it goes through, you should be able to see your So the system is up and running now. We take the keyboard out, and this thing is fully running, 0 fans. We're going to see what kind of results we get out of this thing, because we're going to make this thing work at negative 32 Fahrenheit.